You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about Shemar Stewart. Of course, drafted by the Bengals, number 17 overall, not willing to sign his contract. There's some stipulation. I don't know the specifics of around the contract that he's unhappy about. He wants some language changed, right? And here's the thing. You're dealing with Mike Brown and the Bengals. Look, there's a reputation there. All right, there's a reputation around that franchise with being cheap. You can tell it's rubbing their franchise quarterback the wrong way. Joe Burrow's not happy about this happening over and over and over again. Trey Hendrickson, I can't believe they're thinking about letting him walk or trading him, but they don't want to give him a new contract. And, you're in this window where you've got, I'm going to be real, what I consider really to be the second or third best quarterback in all of the National Football League. You know what? I'd probably put Joe Burrow ahead of Josh Allen. I mean, Joe Burrow, go look at his numbers from last year. They're freaking ridiculous. He played ridiculous quarterback, and the Bengals' issue is their defense. And they're unwilling to spend up on two people for defense. Joe Burrow's going to mess around at some point and ask for a trade from this organization. So one of the things that's floating around out there, or was floating around out there, in regards to this, what's going to end up being a holdout, is that Shemar Stewart, he's been working out at Texas A&M. All right? And it started leading to a lot of speculation. Is he going to try to return back to college? Got some eligibility left, just like Shedeur Sanders, just like Quinn Ewers. I made the argument, and I still continue to contend that as long as it's done before you're drafted, it could be literally during the draft. All right? In other words, you're sitting there watching the draft. All of a sudden, Adam Schefter comes on and says, Quinn Ewers has decided to return back to college and take advantage of his remaining eligibility. You may be asking, well, why is he able to do that, or why would he try to do that? Well, you're not drafted by a team yet. You haven't signed an NFL contract yet, and you got college eligibility left. You should be able to go back. It's the NC2A's bullshit that really prevents that. But these players, especially in the age of NIL, and somebody's going to test this, it's going to take a lawsuit to get this to happen. A lot of people were speculating that Stewart was putting himself in position to return back to college. And, of course, make NIL money, right? As opposed to sign this contract. Now, I think it's too little too late. I don't want to see somebody that's already been drafted do this. I want to see somebody that is falling in the draft. Quinn Ewers fell all the way to the 7th round. Shedeur Sanders fell all the way to the 5th round. Well, those two quarterbacks, I can tell you right now, there were rumors that Quinn Ewers was getting offered $8 million to play for someone this upcoming college football season. That's a whole lot more than a 7th-round contract. There were some rumors that it was Bill Belichick at North Carolina. I don't know if Bill was the one offering him that kind of money, but that Bill was flirting with Ewers. Big time, right? So, and Shedeur too. He had a year of eligibility left. Once you realize you're not going in the places you thought you would go, in the case of Ewers, once he dropped past the 4th round, he should have been like, you know what? I'm going back to school. Pulled himself out of the draft. People are going to start doing that. All right, that's going to start happening. Now, Texas A&M, their coach, Mike Elko, has come out and he set the record straight. All right, Shemar Stewart is not coming back to college.
There's conflicting reports on whether Shemar Stewart has been working out in College Station or not. I'm just wondering if you've seen it.
Yeah, so good to address that. Shemar Stewart's back with us, working out, getting ready to go to Cincinnati to play in the NFL. It's amazing, maybe what can get created on social media these days. But
okay, we'll stop it right there. But you heard him. He's working out at Texas A&M to get ready to go play for the Bengals. Fine. But it's not far-fetched. Somebody, because of the NIL money, is fixing to test this. They're fixing to test this. Whether it's I've dropped too far in the draft or I'm having an issue with my contract, for whatever reason, somebody's fixing to test you know what, I've decided to go back to school because they got eligibility left and they can make great money. I don't know how much money he would make, because I can tell you this, where he is slotted is an $18,942,000 contract with a first-year salary of $3.44 million. Well, I can tell you this, he probably would make more than that $3.44 million in 1 year in college. He probably would. Some team probably give him $4 or $5 million. Might give him more than that. If he was a quarterback and a good one, you could guarantee they'd give him more than that. But you get my point. You get my point. Somebody's going to test this out. This has all changed now because of NIL. Somebody's going to be dropping in the draft, or they're going to get drafted to a team they don't want to go to. They're going to have eligibility left. Now, I think that's where I have a major problem. Look, if you get drafted, you stayed in the draft, you should go fulfill your obligations to the team that drafts you. All right? So if he'd have went back to college, I'd have hammered him over it. If Sanders would have went back to college, I'd have hammered him over it. Why? Because somebody, if they're going to do that, they need to do it prior to a team actually taking them. All right? They can declare for the draft, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's fine. But as long as I would have no problems with it, even if the draft is going on. Let's say they were told they were going to be a day 1 or 2 pick. They get to day 3. The draft ends on Friday night, and overnight, whatever, they talk to their people, and Saturday morning, you start getting news coming out that 3 or 4 or 5 players have decided to go back to college because they got eligibility left. They dropped further than they were potentially thinking they were going to drop. So, Shemar Stewart is not going back to Texas A&M. Somebody's going to test this. Somebody's going to test it, and it's going to be sooner than later. And it's probably going to be a quarterback that is in the draft, has dropped further than they thought they were going to drop, and they're going to be like, to hell with this, I got a year left. I'm going to go make $8 million, $7 million, $10 million playing wherever, West Virginia. You get my point. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. This is the time to voice your displeasure. I just hot off the press. Use promo code CC22. I will have a link for this shirt in the comments section pinned. Save Caitlin, fire Kathy.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.